Hello and welcome to part 2. I'm Karen and we're carrying on crocheting the newborn 4-inch sole converse style slipper. If you followed the instructions that I said on the last video, you should have 2. If you haven't, then tut you should go back and make yourself another one. Makes your life so much easier. I'm only joking, it's only however you want to crochet is entirely up to you. Right, now where am I? So on the next bit of my instructions it tells you to mark the toe area, and we need to mark 14. So I'll still do the same. I'll look at the centre, find the centre of my slipper, count back 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, put my hook through, go straight through to the opposite side and hope for the best, and then count back including the stitch that's actually with the hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that was cool. So pull the yarn through like that, and this is just the marker point. So for those people who instantly know now what we're going to do because they followed the petite one of the way that we work up, you can run along and that's it. See you, bye. If you want to stay and you want to carry on so that we can crochet up all of the sides together, thank you very much for staying. And we're going to do the same as we did with the petite one, and we actually cast on with a single crochet, and we cast on to the left hand side of the marked area, which is just there, and we do a single crochet. Oops a daisy. Now we don't pull that stitch tight because we need to work back in that when we come backwards. Well, we're not coming when we come back round, not backwards, but you know what I mean. Right, so it says cast on with single crochet, don't pull tight, single crochet in the next 27. So I should have a total of 28 stitches. So that's going to be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oh I'm stuck, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now I'm not going to work in this loop there where we've slip stitched, not into that bit. We're going to grow over that and we're working into this next stitch along, just there. And now I've said that, it's completely gone poof out of my head what stitch I was on. So I'm going to go back and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, oops, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 and 28. Okay, that's all we needed the marker for, just to make sure we was definitely in the correct place, so we know that we are, so that can come out now so that it's not in our way. And round 2, or should it be row 2? Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn. We're skipping this space here and working into the next space along. So we need to single crochet in the next 25. So that's, whoops, that's 1, 2. Oh dear, I've got a thread. Undo that. Come all the way back. Oh, that wasn't good, was it? Right, I did a chain 3, turn, skip 1, single crochet in the next 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I've got tangled up there, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 and 25. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip the next one and then slip stitch into the casting on stitch just there. Chain 1, turn, skip 1 chain because that helps that chain there to sit nicely, and then slip stitch into the next 2 of the chain, so that's all sitting nicely, and that's where this one can be pulled tight now. And that's your actual second loophole made because you've already made one there. Okay, so we've done that, and we need to single crochet in the next 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 and 23. Now this lace hole there, that's the only one that you don't actually work over again, but when you're coming along, because it's just got a little hole there, it looks like you've got a lot more stitches left than you have, but you haven't. We've only got the 2 stitches left, so now we need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 1 and slip stitch into the next. Round 3, chain 1, turn, skip 1 of your chain and slip stitch into the next 2. Single crochet in the next 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3 and skip 1 and slip stitch into the next. I'm just going to pause there a minute, because realistically for that round I should have turned over my page. So at this point, because I've just completed round 4, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 button or lace holes, okay, and so should you. Sorry about that. Right, so round 5, chain 1, turn, skip 1 of the chain, slip stitch into the next 2 of the chain, a single crochet in the next 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 1 and slip stitch into the next. Round 6, chain 1, turn, oops-a-daisy, skip 1 chain, slip stitch into the next 2, so that's 1, 2, single crochet in the next 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 1 and slip stitch into the next. And then we chain 1. This is round 7. This is the last round. So we skip 1, slip stitch into the next 2 of the chain, and then slip stitch in the next 17. So that's 1, 2, 3. You don't need to pull it too tight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And for this one, what I do is I slip stitch into the next slip stitch to finish, because I did try finishing there and it leaves you a hole. I'm sure I mentioned that in my petite video. And then we're just going to pull that through, and there you go. I know it's still quite floppy, pardon me, but if you have watched the other videos, you do discover that doing the stitching and adding the extra sole does stiffen it all up. So at this point now, we're going to get our needle and we're going to sew in all of our ends, so that this is all ready and tidy for the next stage, because if we don't, we'll have lots and lots of tails all dangling everywhere, and that's really, it can be quite frustrating when you're working. So not that crocheting is really frustrating. Well, I say that I've been because I was planning on doing the beginner videos, I was looking at my daughter while I've been teaching her and noticing the different things that she has difficulties with. And I know I've not technically been crocheting actually for a long time in comparison to a lot of people, but I had actually forgotten how awkward it felt. It was so strange and unusual, the way that you hold your hook and everything else. So what I actually did, so that I can really truly teach people in a way that I think that it'll help and they'll really understand, is I actually had a go at crocheting left-handed. Now, I'm not left-handed and boy was it difficult, but it still gave me that feeling of what it was like trying to learn, because it's very similar, trying to do something that you can't actually do. Right, I'm just going to let you know, when we sew in this one, we've got to be careful we don't pull this too tight, because that's actually a lace hole there, and if you pull that really tight you make it really hard to get your lace in. And that was something that I noticed on some other people's work, that they hadn't actually even included the lace holes, and they was using such tiny hooks and trying to put these laces through these tiny holes, and it looked ever so difficult. And I thought, well, I know it probably won't come out, but what if it did? The actual person who received it might not necessarily be a crocheter and might not be able to get it back through. So I wanted to make sure that it was all nice and easy, and that's something that I noticed when I was sewing up myself. You've got to be careful and do your sewing in nicely. There, that's that bit done. And on the next bit, I actually come through and work this on the inside. So we just want to be careful that we don't leave a big ugly looking stitch on the outside. So we're going to come through there first, like that, and then when I'm actually tucking in here, just want to just double check that I haven't accidentally gone like that, because that's what I was on about, leaving an ugly looking stitch, because if you've done that and you've sewn it all in, it's really hard to undo. So always take care when you're doing your sewing in. I was just thinking about the history thing that I'm going to do. You're going to love what I found out about the history of the granny square. I actually think I may even have discovered where crochet actually really truly began. And even the name of the lady that actually brought it to my village. Well, it's not a village anymore, but anyway. Sorry. Oh dear, I'm coughing again. Right, hopefully you'll also have one that looks very similar to this. So thank you for watching, thank you for liking, and thank you for subscribing to part 2. And in part 3, oh dear, here's me saying that I'm well, and all of a sudden I'm not. In part 3, if I don't choke to death in the meantime, I'm going to show you how to make the actual tongue. Okay? Right, thanks for watching, thanks for liking. Oh, before I go, remember to go and do the other one so that you've got your little matching pair so that they're working along together. Okay? Thanks again. Bye for now.